Oh yeah, yeah. There should be some. Hey, just honest. Cheers, man. Yeah, as I had a day off yesterday from work, I I did an intro and an outro, so there's an outro as well at the end. Hey, just oh well, so good, man. I like it. I like the little like lighter and cozy, warm morning. Hey, Sharta, how's it going? Good morning. Good morning. Yeah. So there's a new intro. You guys can catch that every morning. It's going to be now on every morning moving forward. So that's going to be fun. And then outro. I'm going to try to have the outro every time as well. I don't know. I'm going to ask you guys what you think about it because for me, displaying it, it has a weird staggering in the frames. I might need to re-render the movie or do some sort of settings. I don't know. Hey, Voodoo Breakfast, how's it going? Hey, Concept Sam, check out your name. Look what you got over there. Oh my, oh my. The industry workshop was great. It was fantastic. I did a recap of it, the last few streams, so that you can have a listen in. You just go back to the video on demand stuff and have a listen. Hey, Yatsuki. Good morning. How's it going? Voodoo breakfast. Yeah, it is, and it is. And I've also made badges. Um, like if if you subscribed for a while, you'll get a different one. Hey Rex, how's it going? I can show you. It's yeah, exactly, Ixie. You see by your name, Ixie. Oh, you are special. Hey, Zealin. And then there's silver and gold badges as well. I'll show you those. Um, and the Ixie, yeah, you are fantastic support. Right, so I started a new 2 week challenge, um, which is all about water, rendering water. Um, so I'm gonna do something with water as well. Thank you, Avoda Breakfast. They're kind of nice. I like the basic one with the black. It is the fire starter logo, but it's also as I'm a part of it now, and it's also in Warmup. Um, the idea is that like I'll show you the intro again for you guys, so you'll see it and you'll get it why that is the subscriber logo. So I'll just switch over to the intro now. Yeah, so that's the yeah fire. So I had some spare time yesterday, so that's what I did. And then there's an outro as well. I put together season 3 artwork. Um, cheers, Sharsa. Thank you. Um, so let's start the water demon. I want to play around with water as well. It's a cool idea. So I think what I'll do is kind of sketch up something water, and then we'll see how to render it, because now I'm gonna try to just capture kind of like the shape, right? And then I'm gonna just render for half an hour. We'll see how that ends up looking. So now I'm looking for some cool shapes to render the water in, right? And then the 2 week challenge, like I said, is set up for new. So it's on the forum, and also if you go to the Discord, uh, there is a new one for the channel, but it links to the forum, so you get the information there. But this time around, I would love to see you guys tackle water, because water in itself is a tricky beast. You know, it's not that easy to get right, and it's a great thing to practice to get right, because water you can play around with multiple different ways. Hey, Captain Bouse. Hey, Klarathi, how's it going? I'm all good, by the way. It's fun to be back at work. Bank holiday yesterday, hence I didn't stream. UK, everyone had a day off, so I took a day off. Even though I would have loved to stream, I felt that like my daughter deserved some time from me. Hey, Concept Sam, man, thank you. Your second month in a row, wicked. Good job, man. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the support. A voodoo breakfast. The idea is that it's aquatic, right? Like water. I had an example of you can have a wizard doing magic, and the magic is water based. Uh, it could be water based magic, or it could be an alien life form that's has is made out of water. It could be water in a scene, I guess, if it's like whatever, however you want to twist the topic. The topic isn't set in stone in the terms of like do it or you will fail the challenge. The challenges, the 2 week challenges are just the idea is just to challenge yourself, right, to improve. So however you want to interpret the challenge, go ahead, you know. Rags, yeah, why not? It's possible. It's completely doable. Atsuki, yeah, I think water in itself is a fun challenge. So let's. I think I got something in lines of water. So let's see what how this will turn out. Your son is, yeah, yeah, exactly. That's the thing, right? It's like refractions, reflections, speculars. Try to like get a shape down. So it's not easy. It's a massive challenge to get the water just right. And you gotta look at water. You gotta kind of try to understand water, what happens with refractions and reflections and shadows and all these things. You know, it's not easy. Right? Yeah, exactly. You could definitely make a creature that's made out of water. Like what I'm doing now is a water demon with metal armor. So obviously, you know, you can You can do a little bit as you want with the topic of the challenge of water, but it's I think it's a great challenge. Personally, I would probably say I haven't done much water-based creatures. Water sphere. Yeah, why not? Have you seen the movie Sphere, by the way? With Dustin Hoffman, I think it was. It's like a thriller. I think in the early 2000s or late 90s was a movie called Sphere. It was an amazing movie. Amazing movie. One of my favorites. I'll open a screenshot of it. Oh, 98. Here. And when you say orb or water orb or water sphere, that's what I instantly thought about. The movie The Sphere. It's actually a cool movie. If you haven't seen it, you should see it. Try to dig it out somewhere. Zealin. Yeah, I know. But the idea is if it's a magical thing, if it's a magical creature, magic, anything goes. Much like sci-fi. Well, it's sci-fi. So a water demon with metal armor, obviously, if it would be a existing entity, um, you would have some questions like why isn't the metal just falling off the through the water? But magic. Yeah, that could be killer after that could be an idea as well. That it's the water that makes the or it's the armor that makes the water take form. So it would be interesting also sci-fi. How would you make a sci-fi water alien? No, I don't know. It's interesting, but I find the challenge of rendering water is going to be a good challenge. But back to the movie, The Sphere. Yeah, The Sphere is an old movie, but it's like a psychological thriller. Um, so be prepared for that a bit. That it's gonna be a little bit messed up. But it's I liked it when I remember seeing it back then. It's like, oh, this is a keeper. And in the reference um, that I added on the forum for the challenge is from another movie. Um, it's called the Abyss. The movie is another classic, and in that it has like a scout, a water creature that like goes into the space or the station to investigate before the actual entity comes, right? And it's like a scout, a water scout. So that's what's the idea of like of the challenge. Hey children, how's it going? Welcome back, yo. The Abyss. If you haven't seen it, I would say you have to see it. In the like, you should see it before it gets way too old. It's getting up there. It's like 90s as well. So it's starting to, you know, um, it's starting to get dated. And unfortunately, a lot of movies get bad by default because they're getting outdated. Um, But The Abyss itself, it's a fantastic movie. I really like it. It's one of my all-time favorites. Um, so if you would ask me personally, I would say, yeah, watch The Abyss. It's an amazing movie with a pretty cool idea. The idea about The Abyss is fantastic. It's one of those movies for me that I always go back to. The same with Contact. Contact is one of them. Um, Boondock Saints 1 is another one. You can go back to and watch again, again, and again, and again. A Voodoo Breakfast. Yeah, that. One of the reasons is getting a little bit outdated, technically. But a lot of the old classic movies, if you watch them today, there is issues with timing. Like the pacing of the movies back then was completely different, and the culture of how to make movies were different. So some people have a hard time watching older movies because of that fact that it's it's just a completely different culture of movie making, and there is a few movies like Close Encounter of the Third Degree or Fourth Degree. I don't remember what it's called, but uh, this is like a classic alien movie, and it's just shot in a way where the timing of it won't ever grow old, right? It's just masterfully made in a way where it's okay to rewatch and over, and it won't go old. It's starting to. I mean, it looks extremely dated, but it watches great. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of movies that unfortunately, like you shouldn't go back to because they live on in nostalgia the strongest. And if you go back to them now, it'll like ruin the memory of it. For me, Blade Runner is one of those movies that are shot in a specific way that will never grow old. Like I can watch Blade Runner over and over again, and I'll be fine. It won't grow old. But the pacing, I mean, if you would show the old Blade Runner to someone today, um, a lot of people might go like, "Why is everybody so hyped about this movie, this old ass movie?" Because it's a completely different way of shooting a movie back then. Like, what was that? End of '70s versus end of 2020. Oh, you went back for Krull? Oh no. Oh man. Avu the Breakfast. The Abyss or Blade Runner? I have the like collector's 30th anniversary edition on Blu-ray. Has all the cuts. By the way, I don't know if you noticed, but if you hold down Alt and click a mask and drag the mask, you can apply it to a layer. So in that way you can just duplicate the mask without any issues. Any mask. Atsuki. There you go. There you go, man. You see? But that's the problem with like cult classics. Like they were great for what they were, and the longer they stray from the period they were made, the harder it is to accept them later on. Hey Mila, how's it going? Do you see how nice? You see how nice I made it? But I don't know why I have a 6 month subscriber when I'm the like creator of it. But I guess that's all good. Hey Amir, good morning, man. Nice to see you. To see you, nice. I saw that you posted on I think it was Instagram, Amir. A pretty fun character design. Good stuff. You shouldn't be stranger in the Discord. You should post it there too. Let the people see your work. Or maybe I missed it and I'm like a total idiot. But I can't remember seeing it on my Discord. Cheers, Amir. And I also have like silver and gold um, badges. You know, for the specially inclined supporter. And then I also, for all the new people, I made a new intro. So there's an intro movie every day now. And also an outro. And the outro is going to be played every time as well. The Holy Mountain. That's a pretty good one. For me, one of those classics also that never really will go old is Labyrinth. If you haven't seen it, it's a cool old school fantasy movie. That's cool, Amir. Yeah, I like it. Of course, I like it. So we're a little bit further than halfway. I'm trying to render water, which looks more like jelly at the moment. But I'm trying. One of the things I know with water that it doesn't cast really shadows on itself. So I'm trying to be very, very wary of not adding a core shadow, like a cast shadow on the surface. Thank you, Bila. Oh, you watched Labyrinth, Chris? Labyrinth is an awesome movie. I don't know actually, Chris, but I know that there's a lot of famous people who came out of that movie, and I love the Goblin King. It's such a cool name. But that is uh, rest in peace, Star Singer or whatever his nickname was, Star Child. Ziggy Stardust? Is that someone else? Am I confusing David Bowie? Was his nickname Stardust or something? Ricky. Yeah, that's a bit tricky. Hey, Andre. Welcome. Good morning, man. Yeah, Jennifer Connelly. King of Humans. Yeah, um, those are great movies, and it shows. For me, what I find interesting is those old classic movies and the way they are made and how they don't grow old because they've just been masterfully made. And like I said, sadly, there's some movies that are the longer you wait, the harder they are to watch. And I most likely I can watch the old Blade Runner just because I remember it so well from when it was seen. I mean, obviously, I was a baby when it was released originally. I mean, it was in the end of 70s. I'm born 80. But but nevertheless, it's for me like a classic. And Dark Crystal is amazing. But I have a very short list of those movies that just doesn't go old, and it's amazing. I love going back to those movies now and then, and kind of venture into those crazy worlds that they manage to convey. But unfortunately, a lot of old movies that were great back then, a lot of them are just like a little bit iffy today. It isn't for the late 70s? I thought it was. Early 80s? 82. Right. Initial release 82. A Voodoo Breakfast. In theory, yes, it should be based on that. It's a book, right? Oh, 2001? Yeah, that's a crazy movie though. And I think it won't get old just by the fact that it's a completely madness, complete madness, you know. It's such a strange concept. And I mean, the director Kubrick, he was a genius in making movies, if you ask me. And he didn't use. I don't think he used tricks that were trendy, but rather like classic master moves. if you know how if you can like a Picasso will never go out of the older it get it won't get worse because it was done in a masterful way using techniques that were not just all flash. Van Gogh, whatever, the classic, the masters, right? Because they're not leaning on something that's just popular, right? There's actually a point behind their work, and I think that's also a big part of why certain movies are can never grow old in the way it's shot and done, because when it's just done tastefully. Oh, really, a Voodoo Breakfast? You heard that Blade Runner is tied to the Alien franchise? I haven't seen the new Blade Runner, but the old one, I mean, I can see that. I can see how it could leaning, to that. But then it would be the other way around. Well, no, Passenger. First Alien was late 70s, wasn't it? Oh, but Terminator 2, I would say, is a movie done in a way with modern technology and using cool tricks and so on, but done in a masterful way where it's not growing old, you know. And I think you could easily go back to Terminator 2 today, and it wouldn't feel too cheesy. And Terminator 1 is also pretty good, but that's a little bit cheesy now because it was made. I mean, it's still. I don't know if I would say it's still good because I haven't seen the first Terminator in a while. Uh, You like uh, one more than two? I like Terminator 2 more than one. For me, two had the perfect balance of everything. It's like a full-on journey. Number one had a lot of lulls, as in slow parts. Mila, I haven't. I know I'm missing out. I don't know why. I just haven't had time to do it, and I wanted to go to the cinema with my wife, but no one was babysitting, and they can't obviously go watch Blade Runner. Um, but I would love to. I would love to. Yeah, Terminator 2 is the liquid metal robot. Waterworld, that's another good one. I actually rewatched it recently. Andre, yeah, I can believe that. Sadly, I missed out on the cinema experience. I would have loved to. I'm a big Blade Runner fan. I have, like I said, the collector's edition with this figurine of the car and every cut of the movie ever produced. Um, so I'm an obvious fan, and shame that missed out on the cinema version of the new movie. But I did go and watch like a few years ago. I did watch original Blade Runner extended cut on cinema. They were showing it on the cinema here, and obviously I had to go watch it. I went and had a beer, watched the cinema with my wifey. We watched the movie together. It was a great experience. Two's bigger than one, yeah. Andre, yeah, that was a really cool experience to be able to go see it at the cinema again with high quality and um, restored, enhanced, whatever it's called. It's really, really cool. And on the topic of going and seeing something in the cinema, I remember as a teenager the first time Jackie Chan had a movie in the cinema. I remember that. That was crazy. It's like, what? You can go watch Jackie Chan on the cinema? That's crazy. And I had to go see it. And it was the movie Rumble in the Bronx. They showed at the cinema for the first time in Sweden, and I had to go. And that was also cool to see Jackie Chan in the cinema. But now it's nothing special. But when I was little, the only time you could see Jackie Chan was like import VHS tape from like movie aficionado magazines. Like you can order import movies from like movie clubs or whatever, or a copy of a copy of a copy of a VHS tape with Jackie Chan on it. And I remember like, holy shit, on the cinema. Hey, Spirit Dude, welcome to the end. Andre, yeah, that's sick. Yeah, I remember seeing Star Wars at the cinema too. Amir, yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, Spiridon posted here competition which ends in 2 days. And if you want to win free stuff, go check that out. You still got 2 days to knock something out if you want to try it. I'm the judge of it, the judge, executioner, and jury. So if you wanna join it, you got 2 days to do something. Spiridon is from Firestarter magazine, and he does go to all the conventions, so you probably heard about that. Free stuff. Family friendly. No, the reason why I altered it was my kids are around. I have to practice clean words at times. All right, so that was my little attempt at water. It's interesting. Personally, I would love a lot more variation. Actually, that being said, let me do a little bit more variation. Like that tone almost. One last little tweak. Kind of like that. Yeah. Like I'm going for like how it breaks. Whatever, caustics. Is that what it's called? Oh yeah, there's a Patreon for Patreons of Firestarter. There's a you can win a THC ticket. Click that link. Bam. All right. No, you can't do that, Spirit of it. It's all good, man. It's all good. We're on the same boat, you and me. Okay, we're gonna raid Christopher Kant. Hey, that onion. Christopher Kant. Is that how you spell his name?
Oh, yeah.
Christopher Kant. Hey, Japobo. Thanks for the follow, man. Subscription. Really, really appreciate it. Oh, yeah. Hey, Japobo, man. Thank you much for the Prime. Um, you have to, and you also get this fantastic new thing next to your name. All right, guys. I'm gonna raid Christopher Kant, and I'm also gonna show you the latest outro. I'm gonna ask you tomorrow morning what you think about the frame rate of the pictures. If it's jarring, I will try to re-render it. Anyway, see you guys tomorrow morning for more stuff. Let's raid Christopher Kant and enjoy the outro.